Hey, it's working. All right, how's it going, grade 10s? Last video for our types of reactions. I'm going to go over the types of reactions practice exercises. Different part of the day, so I get some different light over here, which is kind of why it looks different than the first two videos. But yeah, let's go through this practice sheet. I'm not going to go through each one. I'm going to go through probably 2 questions, maybe 3 questions of each section, and then you can try them out. Again, the answer key is already on Teams, so you can kind of go check out there. And then yeah, if you have any questions, make sure that you chat with me or send me a message, and we can go from there. But let's pop this up here. All right, so you should be able to see this one, not too bad. So again, this is the second worksheet. It says types of reactions, practice exercises. I'm gonna make this a little bigger though, just to see if we can kind of see the questions a little more clearly. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better, that way you can kind of see each question a little more clearly. So for this section, all it says is it says label each reaction below a synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, double displacement, or hydrocarbon, so a combustion. So all you have to do just somewhere is write down what type of actual reaction it is. So let's go through a few of these. So first one, I have a compound and a single element. Over here I have a compound and a single element. The 2 is there, just means again there's the 2 of the Na, but still a compound single element. So this one's going to be our single displacement. I'm just going to put an SB here. Single displacement. All right, on this one we have a C and an O. They are separate. We have an element and we have another element. They are combining to make a compound, and so this will be our synthesis. And let's just do one more for fun. I'm going to go to D. Okay, to D. Again, we have what looks like a compound and a 1 element. But again, just be careful. This one has our C and H's, our hydrocarbons. And this one's just oxygen. At the end, it kind of gives us, again, water and carbon dioxide. So this one's going to be our combustion. So just be careful that one. Because it can kind of look like a single displacement at the start, but not exactly a single displacement. That one's our hydrocarbon. Okay, so go through the rest of those. But that's section. Just looking for that. All right, cool. Section 2, I think we got 4 sections here. I want to go here. Section 2, all right. It says same thing, label each reaction as a synthesis, decomp. Same exact idea, but instead of actually having the chemical formulas, we have the chemical names now. But same idea. So I'll pick 2 or 3 of these here to do. This one, it says we have sodium by itself and bromine gas. Don't get confused by this. This does not make it a compound, it's just bromine gas, so it's still just bromine. So still just sodium and bromine, and at the end is sodium bromide. So we have 2 elements coming together to make a compound. That is a synthesis. All right, next one. Calcium bromide and potassium iodide, compound. Over here, calcium iodide, potassium bromide, compound. And so 2 compounds on both sides. This one is going to be a double displacement. I'm just going to go right down D and D for a double displacement. Cool, let's do one more and move on. So this one, we have magnesium oxide, and it breaks apart into magnesium and oxygen. So we have 1 compound, breaks apart into one element by itself. So we get a decomposition. Cool. All right, and then the rest will kind of follow along the same lines. Just label which one is which. All right, let's keep going. This one will not be as long as the last video. I didn't realize the last video was like 17 minutes by the end. This one will be a little short. Number 3, so this one it says identify what type of reaction it is and then predict what the after is going to be. So something very similar to what we had in the last worksheet. I'll pick 2 random of these. So let's do A first. And then let's do D. I don't know why I just picked 2 at random. So we have sodium and magnesium iodide. What type reaction is this? I have an element. I have a compound. So this is going to be our single displacement. I'll put down single displacement. And now I figure out what's going to actually switch here. I have sodium all by itself. Sodium is a metal. It's going to switch with the other metal, so this and this are going to switch. And so it's going to be sodium with iodide. Sodium iodide. iodide. And then by itself now is going to be magnesium. And cool, that one's done. That's how we would do that question. Single displacement, we've told them, well, we've told what kind of reaction it is, and then we've given what it's going to be after the reaction. And let's do D. So this one, what is it? It is a one element and a one element, so this is me a synthesis. And I would put these together, so it would be strontium bromide. Make sure you add in that I there again. When it is in a chemical equation and there are a chemical bond, we get that I, the ionic bond for I. Cool, so that's how you do this section. It's going to be the actual actual reaction and then what's going to happen at the end. All right, let's go to the last page and the last section. All right, it says for each set here, okay, it says write the word equation and then the actual chemical equation. That means like the actual chemical symbols. So here we go, let's go through this and then I'm going to show you how to do, I'll do the first, I'll pick three. How about this? I won't do the first two, but I'll pick three. So let's do the first one. We have magnesium and oxygen. So what is it going to do? This is going to turn into, so this is a synthesis. It doesn't ask me to tell you what it is. Like nowhere above does it say tell me what kind of reaction. I'm just going to do it just for fun right now. Magnesium oxygen, it's going to be a synthesis, so this is going to be magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. And now I actually want to do like the chemical, when it says skeleton form, that means like the actual chemical symbols and what they would actually look like. So magnesium by itself, remember if I told you in the last video, if it's an element by itself, just put a 2 here, we're all good, okay? Plus oxygen by itself, O2. Now though, after it's going to be magnesium oxide, so Mg and O, and I have to go and check the periodic table, make sure how do these two things join. Luckily, a nice thing is magnesium and oxygen join in a 1-to-1, and so I can just leave it like this, okay? So that is how, and this is a fully now done answer, like a fully done question, okay? Over here, calcium bromide. What kind of reaction? Well, I just have one compound. It's going to break apart, so this is a decomposition. And it is going to turn into calcium by itself and bromine by itself. So let's actually turn this into its actual chemical symbol, its chemical equation. Well, calcium and bromide, how does it go together? And actually, I have my answer key right here to make sure I've got exactly what I want. Okay, it is me this, calcium, CaBr2. Okay, calcium needs 2, bromine can only take 1, and so it's going to be CaBr2, and then it's going to turn into Ca2 and Br2. Okay, Ca2, Br2. Again, just keep those as anytime they're singular, let's put a 2 beside them. Make sure that's all good. And that question is done. Decomp, there's the name of it, and then there's actually to make sure how we do it. So, cool. Let's do one more, and then I'll leave you to it. Let's pick E, just for fun. So for E, we have, and I'll just put this a little more in the middle of the page. All right, I'm looking right here for E. Calcium oxide and lithium fluoride, so I have a double displacement. And so now, what is the actual word equation going to look like? Again, my metals are going to switch. These are going to switch. So I'm going to get calcium with fluoride. Calcium fluoride. And I'm going to get lithium oxide. Lithium oxide. Now I've got to do a little work. Now I have to make sure I know each one and how they go together. So how does calcium and oxygen go together? This is a nice 1-to-1 ratio. CaO. Plus, how does lithium and fluoride go there? Nice thing is, again, this is a nice 1-to-1 ratio. LiF. So there's my beforehand. It turns into Calcium fluoride. Now this is not a 1-to-1 ratio. When they bond ionically, calcium and fluoride is a Ca2F. And again, lithium and oxide don't bond together 1-to-1. It is LiO, but it's Li2 and O. Yeah. Whoa, one second. Okay, I messed up a little here. This is why I check the answers, okay? Calcium fluoride. There should be 2 in the F. 2 in the F. My bad. If you were screaming at me before, it's okay. I changed it, all right? Look at my own answer key. That's what I got there. So yeah, here, there's the name. And then, again, we got to make sure that when they bond ionically, we're trying to make sure that we get it right. We just can't write them down. We got to make sure that we check how to do ion bonds like we did a month ago. Try and remember that. So, all right, so there's how to do that last section. This last section is really, really good. I know in the last worksheet I kind of omitted A and B because there was a transitional metal and there's a covalent bond. This one's really, really good. This last page, these 8 questions, really, really good. Again, there'll be 2 or 3 questions like this on your assignment. The last thing I just wanted to talk about was kind of what your assignment's going to look like. So I'll get rid of that so you can see me a little better. What's going to be on your assignment? If you go through this, imagine kind of like 2 or 3 questions from each section. So on this one, there's like 8 of each different kinds. Imagine 2 or 3 of each section. It'll be 1 little page, and that'll kind of be what your assignment is. So if you feel really, really good on this and really, really good on the practice sheet, you'll have no problems with the assignments. There's going to be no hidden things. I want this to be a nice, easy kind of guide back in. And so it should be, if you know this, feel real confident, you should feel good. Okay, that assignment will be posted in Teams on the assignment tab. You'll get a little notice of it. And then just, again, you can either do it on the Word document, or if you want to, again, just write it out on a piece of loose leaf, take a picture and post it up there as well. That sounds good for me as well. Okay, class, thanks so much. Again, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great, great week. All right, thanks, class. Have a good one. Whoa.